Hello, Internet! This is Sneaky Devil here, as always. It's a Tuesday, and we are 1 hour early, because for those who are unaware, we are going to be extending our little talk show to 3 hours of suffering.
Because we hate ourselves.
And agonizing pain. So we will be going from, we will be trying out going from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Just so we can fit all those little time zones in for you people. I don't know why you would, but here we are. Anyway, I'm joined today by Max and Atin, and this is Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9000.
Kill us now and save us time.
As always, if you want to follow along, you can join the Discord in the description or in the panels down below, depending on your viewing platform.
What the fuck?
As all the links to the fanfiction will be included in the Discord.
I think my computer just had a mini heart attack.
Good.
Sneaky went super robot on my end.
As always, do not contact or otherwise harass the people featured on this stream, because that would be bad, and we would get in trouble, and you would get in trouble, and everyone wouldn't have a bad day. And you don't want to have a bad day. And with that said, let's kick it right on off with a Mass Effect story.
Why are we disappointing ourselves already?
The catalyst for revenge!
Where's the link?
I already dropped it in the Discord. I'm just gonna preemptively edgelord this.
Oh god, you uploaded that early. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, no, he confused the hell out of some people.
Shepard
like, oh,
chose to destroy Sovereign. The Council then declared war on the Systems Alliance for that betrayal.
What?
Who's Sovereign, and why should I care?
Sovereign's the Giant Reaper!
The Giant Reaper from Mass Effect 1, you know, the Giant Reaper that you had the choice of, oh, should we kill Sovereign or should we save the Council?
So is this supposed to be like he killed it and the survivors are going...
It's more like they successfully killed Sovereign, but the Council... Because the Sovereign dies both ways. But it's more like the Council didn't die, but the humans chose not to save them.
Yeah, I don't think this summary is quite... I don't think the summary was thought out very well.
The humans tried to fight, but it was a losing battle. Subjugation leading to extinction was not acceptable for making the hard military decision. So humans chose another path and made a deal with the Reapers. Fucking what?
What?
The galaxy and the cycle would never be the same. AU cyclic reset. Fucking what?
I don't...
Also, yeah, by the standard novel length of fantasy books, 2,200 words, 2,200,000 words is, around, 3 books-ish.
Like 2.2 million? What? Or 220,000?
Sorry, yeah, 220,000.
Okay. Yeah, that's about...
This story is about...
2 to 3 novels.
This story is exactly that word count too long. Yeah. This is a distinct possibility.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility, yes.
Originally, this started as a combined fic between Pax Humana and myself, but it didn't remain that way. Still, Pax Humana has been involved with the plot and the writing, so it's still in part his. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, here we go. We got a more descriptive summary. The Destiny Ascension and the Council were sacrificed to kill Sovereign. It was a hard decision. It was a military decision. Yes, it was a decision made by the military. Congratulations. A necessary decision. It was the decision that turned the galaxy against the Systems Alliance, triggering the Betrayal War. The humans fought, but against the entire galaxy, they couldn't fight forever. At the same time, they knew what the Council denied. The Reapers were coming. When they came, as they inevitably would, the humans called to them. The Reapers came to Earth, and a deal was made. 40 years later, the Council had best be wary, because it was time for the harvest, and the humans would lead the way.
Nope.
Okay, so yes, the summary did not adequately explain what was supposed to be happening here. But that still begs the question, if the council was sacrificed, why is there still a council to declare war?
Well, I mean, the council could always just elect new people.
Not only that, you gotta keep in mind that it wasn't just the council that gets saved when the humans charge into the rescue. Literally the decision is, do you want to assist the fleets and save the Destiny Ascension, or do you wish for the alien fleets to exhaust themselves and for the Destiny Ascension to blow up before you sweep in and finish off Sovereign? Which means the aliens, in this case, would not have the fleets to fight the humans.
Now, sure, there could be some argument that maybe some of the more military-minded species like the Turians or the Solarians might still have fleets. Or backup fleets.
Yeah.
But certainly, the Asari's fleet is completely gone.
Well, the Joint Citadel fleet, in the second option, it's basically implied that the Joint Citadel fleet was basically wiped out.
I know that,
yeah.
But I'm just saying,
I know, and yes, the Asari, the Solarians, and the Turians would still have fleets protecting their own homeworlds and shit. But the joint fleet would be gone, which would mean the majority of the Citadel's military strength would be gone.
I was going to say, and maybe the Turians would be like, damn, humans betrayed us. The Asari would be like, we can't go on the offensive. And the Solarians certainly
would be like, this was
not.
A logical decision, yeah.
And even if they're like, we're not happy with it, we get it. Even if they wanted revenge, they'd be like, we aren't in a position to do this right now.
Yeah. Anyway. Date! January 26, 2186. Shepard looked up at the sky. It was black with ships, and a grim smile was on his features. They had come, just as Saren promised they would. The Reapers, they were around Earth, and the only people on Earth these days were humans. Harbinger, he screamed, baring his teeth. He learned a few things from Sovereign and Saren before they died, and the name of the Reaper leader was one. Harbinger! He had no idea how they heard him, but the black ships paused. He waited, watching the sky as they moved. It was one of the most beautiful things he had ever seen, and he grinned when one ship descended from their masts. The ship was large, and 4 glowing lights lit its front. It was indistinguishable from the others, but Shepard knew this was Harbinger. Organic! Harbinger! Shepard greeted the huge vessel as it descended through the atmosphere. It grew bigger and bigger in his vision, and he resisted the urge to step back. He knew how large ships were, but somehow this Reaper was larger than it should be. What do you want, mortal?
They never...
The Reaper leader asked, as the black form came to a rest in front of Shepard. I want to make a deal. And why should I make a deal with you? Harbinger asked. and Shepard watched as the Reaper leader's weapon tracked onto him. For a moment, Shepard was silent. The Reapers had no real reason to deal with him, with humanity, but if Harbinger, either in arrogance or out of some sense of superiority, was willing to talk, then he was willing to try. Shepard fixed his eyes on Harbinger, ignoring the weapons that could no doubt vaporize him instantly. Because I destroyed your vanguard, and I can give you this cycle. The Reaper was silent for a moment before it replied. This cycle is already mine. The species are split. No, Shepard disagreed. They're not. Yet here you are, human, all alone on your planet. Harbinger,
okay, I want to point something out. It is incredibly unlikely that Shepard... I could buy someone like Udina trying to make a deal with the Reapers. Shepard saw the Prothean beacon. He knows what will happen. No matter which version of Shepard you go with, Renegade or Paragon or down the middle, Shepard wants the galaxy to keep spinning.
Yeah.
It's not likely that Shepard...
I believe this is why I put the Edgelord banner up. But I believe the angle the author is going towards is, oh my god, all the humans are about to die, and Shepard is like, I don't want the humans to die. And so he makes a deal with the Reapers.
Or even, here's the thing, even if it's the, well, I want to kill them all, I want to make sure they all die too, he doesn't have to make a deal with the Reapers for that. He knows the Reapers are going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how exactly the author's spinning this. This is why I put the Edgelord banner up, because it's just completely... Shepard is doing the deal because Edge... The tragic thing is, if this guy put in half the effort into the plot and written 1/4 the chapters, this would have been good. Yeah.
Okay, we can't say that it's bad. That we haven't read enough to determine if it's bad or not yet.
It's not bad in terms of spelling and grammar.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we haven't gotten far enough in. Like, we need to at least finish the chapter before we go and say that, or at least get a few paragraphs.
The main problem right now is we have driven. We are on a Russian road right now. It is just potholes.
Actually, in regards to the Edge comment, isn't Paragon Shepard just super, like, over-the-top edgy himself?
Boy Scout. He's
Sorry,
hyper Boy Scout.
Renegade. Not Renegade.
Yeah.
I meant Renegade.
Renegade is super edgy. Paragon is super Boy Scout. Yes.
So, apparently this is a full Renegade-run Shepard, then. That's what I'm getting from this.
I guess this is just Hyper Renegade or something. I don't know. I think we're gonna get one of the reasons right now. Shepard closed his eyes, briefly looking to the ground. Memories streaming through his mind. He knew Harbinger was humoring him with his conversation, but Shepard would make that enough. The Reapers would deal with them. Of course we are, he agreed. Because the taunt was nothing but the truth. The only alien ships in the Sol system were the Reapers. Because they don't consider us one of them. They never did. That's actually really edgy to say, Shepard.
I mean, it's not wrong either. Come on, that was like Udina's chief complaint. They don't really see us.
Yes, that was Udina's complaint, but we're kind of given the impression through all three games that we think Udina's a colossal, and by we I mean Shepard, thinks Udina's a colossal dickhole, and that all of his
I'm
ideas
not questioning
are wrong.
Udina is a colossal dick. Udina is a tool, a massive tool, because he thinks he knows best, and he thinks he's right, and he refuses to listen to us, the player, which automatically makes him a tool.
Indeed.
Joking aside, though, he, much like the rest of the council, does kind of ignore, evidence.
I'm aware. They fought so hard against Saren, against Sovereign. They couldn't save the council. He wanted to, but they had to destroy Nazareth. He'd explained he'd been patient, but they wouldn't see it. Quentius understood it was a military decision, and Shepard thought he believed in the Reapers, but Ishel and Irisa heard nothing. They were somewhat grateful for their promotion, but they were quick to blame him for Saren's death and the wreck on the Citadel, diverting attention from their own rise to power. And in blaming him, they've blamed the whole of humanity. Any chance they'd had was gone. 2-on-1, the council had turned on him, on them all. He would have taken whatever punishment they wanted to inflict alone, but they had turned on all humans, no matter how. Quentius understood. Quentius?
Okay, but again, that doesn't make any sense.
The rest of the Turians had only been waiting for the opportunity to restart the First Contact War. Oh yeah, every Turian in existence were just like, time to kill some humies!
I was gonna say, even leaving that aside, like, out of all the groups that should be going, yes, this was logical, it should be the Solarian. Like, because the Solarians are both military-minded and hyper-logical. The Turians are portrayed as being much closer to humanity than anything else. They're violent, they're aggressive, they're warlike, they're hot-headed.
Oh.
Like, yeah, I mean...
Also,
yeah.
Arn is saying, reading the reviews, the author seemed to be garbage at the less obvious stuff of writing. And it's like, well, yeah, that was kind of obvious when they apparently made every single Turian anti-human. That had been the hardest to bear, that so many races had turned against them. The Alliance had expected the Quarians to accept the Council offer of a Dextro-Amino world. Instead, the migrant fleet had ran. They abandoned their pilgrims and tally in favor of saving their entire race.
What?
Okay, so apparently, from what I'm getting from this paragraph, the Alliance was like, okay, the Council offered the Quarians a world to settle on. And the Quarians were like, fuck this shit, I'm out, and just kind of left half of their species there. Which is all the kids.
Why, though?
Because I'm not quite sure why they left the Pilgrims behind, because the Pilgrims are all their fucking kids, which means there's going to be a minor problem of population.
No. Remember, the Pilgrims aren't kids. They're college students. They're college students.
I would put them more at high schoolers, but still.
But, like, the fact is, actual children are still on the migrant fleet.
Yes. Still, that's going to be a significant gap when you need to keep a continuous population stream going, due to...
I'm not saying it's not, I'm just saying it's not like...
It's not what I'm trying to say is it's not an intelligent or logical or by any means smart decision. Hey, do you want this world? No, fuck this shit, we're going to leave half our population now, it's stranded. Woo!
I was going to say, not only that, the fucking Quarians wouldn't just be like, yeah, we're just going to ditch half our people.
I mean, obviously it's an exaggeration about half, but still, the point there is...
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they wouldn't just be like, yeah, we're gonna wholesale ditch all the Pilgrims.
Yeah, they'd straight up be like, oh, we're just gonna subtly recall all the Pilgrims and then book it? But no, they're just like... Okay, whatever. Yeah, moving on. The Krogan, Rex had come out in favor of the Alliance, the Council blockaded Tuchanka... Dreadnought on guard, blah blah blah. Krogan's living off Tuchanka were encouraged to return home at gunpoint. That went well, I'm sure.
Hey guys, you know how the Krogan are bitter and angry over us dicking them over? What if we dicked them over really hard?
Indeed.
A second time.
Blah blah blah. Years before, humanity was taken seriously. Blah blah blah. Charming disposition. The fleet size of the humans. Fought back against the Turians, but no support. There was too much. Blah blah blah. So many colony worlds.
But it's not too much, because I don't know if the author knows this, but one of the things we know in Mass Effect lore is there are limits to the size that any one group can have for their fleet. And the two races that maintained fleets at or damn near the maximum capacity allowed by the treaties were the Turians and humans.
I'm pretty sure the Turians were allowed to go over that because they were like the military arm or whatever of the council.
Yeah, but those ships were contributed directly to the Citadel fleet.
Yeah, I know.
So those ships are gone.
Yeah.
So even if they still had the maximum, like, humanity's fleet wouldn't be... It would be an even slugging match, and humanity would have a massive advantage in that fight because, oh, hey, there's like one relay to get to us.
Also, I just realized the
Turians have to go through it.
I just realized it's a human company that produces metagel as well. So, the main medical staple of all militaries across the galaxy is now gone.
That too.
Oh, wow. Wow, they really shot themselves in the foot on that, didn't they?
Yeah. Anyway.
And for the record, we are picking on this story. We're picking on this story because there's a lot of stuff that, from a lore perspective, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I'm just here for the ride because I know nothing about Mass Effect outside of Paragon and Renegade, and that's it.
Bleep, bloop, blobbity blip, Alliance Command, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. We had noticed Vanguard failed, skilled enough to turn lesser races against each other. The Reapers were scared of the humans. Blah blah blah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. That's right. Carry on.
That's what the author just said.
Okay, so the Reapers are scared of the humans?
Amuse me, human, what do you want? This is a very out-of-character harbinger, but whatever. Blah, blah, blah. 2 questions. Blah, blah, blah. How many does it create? How long? Assuming harvest is fast. 2 to 6 months. Blah, blah, blah. 2 years. Blah, blah, blah. Information swallow hard. He didn't like it. Cycle was lost. Blah, blah, blah. We will not fight you. Organized to be ascended in exchange. You will not indoctrinate us, and the Reaper we become will give you the rest of this cycle species. We will take on the galaxy for you. Boy! Holy shit! When I thought this was gonna be edgy, I didn't think it was gonna be this fucking edgy. Someone get some goddamn foam or something to put on this edge.
I simply refer you to that image I sent you quite some time ago.
Indeed. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so all of humanity is gonna go become Reapers because fuck you, apparently. Got it. Okay. Blah blah blah, Ascension, no one ever wanted that, first time for everything, come closer, blinked closer, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. The Reaper struck, something grabbed him, he couldn't scream, he was squeezed, something was breaking inside him, blah blah blah, agony, memories came to him, blah blah blah, Tally looking at him, Drell, Krogan, blah, blah, blah. Fear of the Reapers. Desire. The next thing he knew, he was lying on the ground. Smaller pains in wake. Very well, human will ascend you. You may pursue these lesser races. You will not betray us, but should that happen, I'll eliminate you. Come here. He didn't want to. As the one who destroyed my vanguard, you will be first. I will see to it. Woo, lads. Right then. So do we want to see chapter 2?
I mean,
for all of its shit. For all of its shit.
I want to see if this author answers any of the questions we have.
Yes. For all of its shit, we'll cue this up for next Tuesday.
I will say this right off the bat. Spelling and grammar wise, it's not bad. Like, there were no obvious grammar problems. To their credit, they understand how to correctly format dialogue, at least.
This is true fact. Yes, yeah.
I was going to say, which is a point over many of the stories we run into.
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, actually being able to dialogue, which, again, look, I understand grammar and spelling mistakes. That stuff just happens when you're writing. And sometimes you don't catch it because you're not, using a program to do it. You're not reading it aloud. You didn't go through a beta. You didn't have someone else look at it. Whatever. Grammar and spelling mistakes, while, pretty terrible all in all in a published work, regardless of its status, is understandable. The one thing I will never understand is how people fuck up dialogue. Because everything from newspapers to blogs to fucking scripts, to any book in existence, you can look at and read, and you'll get how to format dialogue. So how you can never look at any written work in existence ever and write a fanfiction is beyond me. Because you should know that. If you've ever read anything, you should know how to format dialogue. That's just my 2 cents. Am I off the rails on that?
No, formatting dialogue should be pretty,
You say these people look or are intelligent. Yeah. Let's see, this is a review that Arn picked up. I'm gonna call bad pacing here. Spending over 200,000 words on a single arc. You implicitly convinced me that the arc-level driving conflict was going to be something massive, colossal, outwitting the catalyst, dodging indoctrination. By ending it with a metaphorical whimper instead of a bang, you forced me to go back and reevaluate things. At which point, I conclude this feels like a new take on the cheap, give the hero every advantage and watch him kick ass that FFnet is in full of. What else could it be? It's a tale of a curb stomp. There's no challenge sufficient to drive a story arc. Martial conflict doesn't automatically create narrative conflict because the conflating the two is such a common mistake. Most of the best narrative conflicts have nothing to do with martial conflict, such as a person versus self or person versus society. Looking back at it, I'd probably have collapsed it down into a prologue for Arc 2, and then spun out the bits featuring interesting characters, e.g. the friends who were looking for you, into their own side stories so they could be properly explored. Wow, that's really disappointing that it's a 200,000 word arc. Like that's literally 3 books, guys. Like
Sure.
A 3-book arc. Or if you're being extra large, a 2-book arc. But still, that is way too big for a single arc.
Oh no, like, isn't that referred to as a volume? If
Well,
it's all done in one go, isn't that an actual term within writing?
sort of. To my knowledge, that our arcs were the either the overarching conflict focus of the book. I'm not actually sure what volume we refer to. Do we have any information on this?
I'm trying to
I
track it
don't.
down.
That's worse than R.R. Martin.
But you say, and at least Martin can tell at least initially, he could tell an interesting story. He does kind of get full of himself.
Oh boy, Halo, Percy Jackson!
Okay, I'm not going to rule it out of hand, because
As
at
always.
least they're fighting mythical creatures. So, being a literal Spartan, I'm not saying it puts him that much ahead. Like, obviously it puts him ahead, but... What?
Kugel's not happy with this.
Luckily for us, that's irrelevant.
Unfortunately for you, we're the ones reading the story. Anyway. The Twin Spartans. The story of Percy Jackson rewrite. Perseus and Persephone Jackson had been known to be many things. What? Why is that a sentence? What? That's a sentence, just the word is.
I'm
confused.
It might have been a mistake.
First person stories, I've seen maybe a couple who do okay first person stories. It's a lot harder than third person or over the shoulder or narrative point of view. But yeah, no, it's certainly not easy, and yeah. Yeah, there's a reason why I hate the games we play. That's one of them. But there was a time when they were referred to as Spartans, heroes. Disclaimer: I don't own anything. Reviews appreciated. Oh God! Oh God! Ah!
You okay there, buddy?
No! I'm allergic to trash!
Probably shouldn't be doing his show then.
I know.
He
least it explains the
literally
drinking.
asked for this, though.
The other reasons I dislike the games we play, I dislike where it goes, I dislike what it does, I dislike the characterization of the characters, let's see, what else? I dislike, the whole arcs that are existing in it, I just didn't like any of it.
Yeah, the games we play it's actually really great for the first, 15 chapters, and then it just gets boring. It gets really boring.
And we know we're gonna make some people mad by saying that. Luckily we don't.
Disclaimer! This is my fucking opinion.
Yep.
Anyway. This is the rewrite, blah blah blah, okay, nothing in that author's note. Prologue, Percy's point of view. I wander through the empty bridge of my new ship.
I'm really confused as to what's going on.
I'm gonna take off the edgelord tag, but I'm gonna add the I'm fucking confused hyphenation. Am Am I missing something here? Why the fuck is Percy Jackson already in Halo?
I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm curious about that myself.
It's been so long, Isley. I barely remember the games we play. I didn't read it myself. I was looking over shit and people were giving me summaries of each arc and I was just like, I don't like these characters. I don't like these arcs. I don't like the direction it goes in. So, written in first person, the character needs to be incredible personality-wise. Makes you emphasize or sympathize with them. It needs to be suitably humorous to keep your attention. You should sit down and make some banners. We'll always accept free stuff. Right off the bat, we have toss you right into the middle of the story effect. Yeah.
In media res is a thing.
I am fine with in media res. I have seen good in media res stories. I've said this before. However, when you are doing a crossover,
in media res is a terrible idea.
No, not even then. When you are doing a fusion crossover, because apparently that's what this is, in which Percy Jackson and his sister are apparently Spartans. You know, it's one thing to be like, oh hey, Percy Jackson, combat's happening in Percy Jackson, and one of the gods is like, fuck you, portal! And Percy Jackson flies through the portal, and now he's in the Haloverse, and they pick him up to become a Spartan or something, because reasons. Shitty plot, but more understandable than, hey, Percy Jackson's already a Spartan, already owns a ship, and is talking with an admiral. What?
I feel like we've missed a few steps along the way.
This is the prologue! That's the problem! There is steps we're missing! This is the fucking prologue!
That's why we're confused.
I'm not aware of Percy having a sister. I only read the first, 2 books of Percy Jackson. Because it was young adult trash.
I made it through. I think I made it through the one where they started interacting with the Romans, and he never had a sister.
10 out of 10 already baited. Yes, I have fallen for the bait. It is my one true weakness. Shitty fiction.
Max, deploy the bait memes.
No.
Sneaky already has them.
I already
do
have
it himself.
all the base memes. Anyway, whatever it is, regardless if this is a vision of the future or a, hey, this is what you can look at to come, this is not how you prologue. This isn't, if I was reading this on my own, without anyone watching me, I would have looked at this story, there's so many things I would have to do to even get to the point where I started reading it, because there's so many red flags for me that I wouldn't have even bothered. But let's say, hypothetically in this situation, that I sat down and I was going to read this story on my own. That first line alone would have made me close this story. Okay, so not only is it AU in the fact that Percy Jackson's already a Spartan, it's also AU in the fact that he has a sister. And she's also a Spartan.
I was going to say, like I said, to the best of my knowledge, which I admit, I could be forgetting things, or I could be missing stuff from a book, he does not, nor did he ever have a sister. Unless you go into the whole... well, all the children of the gods are half-siblings nonsense, which is technically true.
Now, I will say this is all my opinion, and okay, apparently a majority of the fandom agrees with me. This story has only 42 follows, 42 favorites and 58 follows, and it's at 100k words. I would solidly say the majority of the fandoms agree with me on this. This is not a good way to start a story. So, popular opinion and my personal opinion, in the rare times they coincide, says don't do a story in the way that this person is trying to start a story. Take that for what you will. Let's move on. How long till he starts boning his sister? I'm not gonna make bets on that.
We don't need to know that. And we never will.
I stop and lean on the railing, gazing out of the viewport. Dozens of men in EVA thrusters packs fly out of a space station and begin welding the final few plates of titanium A armor on the ship. Pretty soon, she'll be rolling out of the docks. With a look eye at the endless void. With a eye look at the endless blackness of space. After a few minutes, I feel a hand placed on my shoulder. "Penny for your thoughts," a calm voice says behind me. I sigh and look at Admiral Matthias Drake. Well, I was just thinking of how I ended up here. For some kid in a quiet inner colony, to insurrectionists supplying rebels with weapons to fight the people I once served with.
What? Okay.
So we're just taking the AU train and driving it so hard into the fucking ground it comes out the other side.
Okay. So Percy Jackson ending up in the universe as a small child. Fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care about that. That really doesn't matter. Percy ends up there as a kid.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But now you are going to have to somehow take someone who is of age to be commanding a vessel, which means they're even for the UNSC, the youngest they would ever do that, and I know this isn't the UNSC, these are insurrectionists.
No.
The youngest you're going to trust. No. From some kid in a quiet inner colony to an insurrectionist supplying rebels with weapons to fight the people I once served with. He's an insurrectionist.
Oh.
Wait, so he turned
traitor?
Sneaky, that's what part of my point for this is.
Okay, yeah.
You have to take someone who's got to be at least 25. At least 25 to be given a ship.
No, he's a fucking Spartan. He's a fucking Spartan, too.
That's what I'm saying. Either he's already a Spartan, and he's turned traitor, which isn't likely.
No, I served in their... It was blah, 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 hold on. I spent my entire childhood training to fight for them. Spartan training.
Huh.
So he's a Spartan that turned traitor.
Which there were I was going to say, that in and of itself isn't like, oh, unbelievable that they did that. There were plenty of Spartans who were not happy.
Yes, there were plenty of Spartans that were not happy, but him still existing to this point, because they were kind of very touchy about people leaving the Spartan program.
I was going to say, they did not take kindly to that.
But Kugel does bring up a very good point. This is a rewrite. Is he even Percy Jackson at this point? The answer is no. This is actually what I like to call the classic authorial move of shit writers called flesh puppeting, in which you take a character that people enjoy, you scoop out everything inside them that makes them that character, and then you take their skin left behind and you puppet it around like a meat suit. Because Nothing besides physical resemblance resembles his character now.
Yeah. You know, this isn't Percy Jackson. Because this isn't a Percy Jackson that was... pulled out another chair and sit in front of him. 14 years ago on the colony Acropolis.
Like that one fic Frugal made. Blah, 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 blah. Wait, what?
Done.
What?
Drives off.
What the fucking...
Colonies getting attacked. The Covenant are about to glass this city and you want us to remain okay, wait. What?
Oh, blah, blah, blah. Get in the car. What's going on?
No. But this is a fundamental problem.
What?
He can't be a Spartan. He cannot be a Spartan too.
No, he can't.
He cannot be a Spartan too because... the Spartan 2s were ready and trained before the Covenant arrived.
So, and wasn't the insurrectionist just kind of put down? Yeah, but by the time Reach got glassed,
it's not so much that they were put down, it's that the insurrectionists were like, it's that the insurrectionist movement basically lost all of its steam because the thing they were complaining about, the UNSC is oppressing us, the UNSC doesn't help us, the UNSC doesn't care about us,
kind of lost to the alien race bent on genocide, yeah.
And the fact of the matter was that then, at that point, the UNSC was protecting them. Yeah. And there were some planets and some insurrectionist groups that still were around. I forget what. There was basically one planet of nothing but insurrectionists. Yeah. That they like the Covenant started invading, and that's when they chose to tell the UNSC to go fuck themselves. Which, fine. So there were planets of insurrectionists, but the insurrectionists mostly were gone because they're like, even if I don't like the UNSC,
yeah, they were effective.
The Covenant's kind of genocide. Yeah. It's like, look, the UNSC oppressed me, but they didn't genocide me.
Also, Acropolis just triggered the epic rap battle between Western and Eastern philosophers because of, Socrates' line.
As a side note, the other reason that the insurrectionists were basically gone at the end of it was because, remember, the Human Covenant War was 30 years.
Yeah.
It was 30 years long. Pretty much all the people who were part of the insurrectionist movement were dead.
Yeah. So anyway, blah, 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 Covenant's gonna glass the city, blah, 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 trying to escape from the Covenant, you can't take off in ships. You can't flee a planet in ships if the Covenant's already in glassing positions over a planet. That kind of means they're blockading the planet. Which means fleeing on a ship isn't exactly going to work.
You can try. They can still try. But the fact of the matter is, first of all, I don't think this person understands how glassing works. It takes a lot of time to get into the glassing position.
Yeah.
Like, this is not... The Covenant can't just jump out of... First of all, you have advance warning. Yes. That's how slip space works. Yes. Even if there are no ships, ground-based installations would be like, oh, there's slip space ruptures. And they'd know it's the Covenant. You can't jump in too close to a planet, at least at this point in the Halo universe, because of the way slip space works. You can't do it.
Yeah.
That's just... It's not how it works.
Blah, blah, blah.
So the Covenant has to jump in from out system. Then they have to... So even if there's no fleet to stop them, they have to move in system, and they have to take up the glassing positions. any ships that could have run away would have run away by now.
Yeah. I mean, and not only that, the militia is apparently going to shoot the crowds now.
No. That is completely... Many scream in panic while people move over the barricades, only to be driven back by gunshots fired in the air. That is standard crowd control procedure.
The militia train their weapons on the crowd. Stand back, the leader warns. Many shout angrily. I'm aware. I'm just saying that,
I'm just saying that's nothing. The authors did nothing wrong there. That is standard crowd control procedure for the UNSC, especially in an evacuation.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Elevator, blah, blah, blah. Evacuation ships. Plasma rounds striking the ship's engine. Everyone screams. It explodes. Everyone's gasping. 2 Covenant ships enter the orbital elevator and start shooting everyone. Percy, come on.
A white armored squid head pulls out a strange barrel shape.
Mom gets shotted. Blah blah blah. Percy and sister run. I need a weapon or a flashlight.
No, is that a weapon or a flashlight?
Oh, okay.
He's mocking the Covenant.
No. Oh, good.
Oh, come on. Come on. That is standard Marine. Mock the Covenant before getting murdered by them. That is so standard Marine.
White armored alien.
Which the fact that this person understands the UNSC Marine write this kind of dialogue is annoying, because they should know at least know enough about Halo to know some of the basic stuff we've been talking about.
Yeah, I know, right? Blah blah blah. Several rooms. Aliens dragging them out.
What is with? Why did this suddenly become the world's longest haiku?
I don't know, man.
Because fuck you.
Alien executing prisoners.
Hold on. It, the, I, he, the, and the. 6, fully taking the, like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Not enough those.
This isn't even first person anymore. This is over the shoulder now, because it says
This is Spartan 117. We have recovered 2 survivors requesting evacuation. Okay, okay. I'm jumping ahead to chapter 2.
Yeah.
No POV, really. They're in an orphanage.
There is no point of view at all. The story is over.
Chapter 2, no POV.
Blah blah. Aliens are about to kill the hero when suddenly someone comes in and saves them.
Oh, come on. The Master Chief does that all the time.
Yeah, I guess. Blah blah blah. Wait, I guess. Where did Batman come from?
Okay, so they are going to be Spartan 3s.
Yeah.
Okay, Mendez did not do the recruit. Okay.
I want to get some water. Continue.
Okay, so the author is making them Spartan 3s. Fine. The problem with that is he has Chief Mendez, the head of the Spartan program, offering them the chance to be Spartan 2s. That is not how Spartan 3. That is not how the Spartan 3 program worked. They took giant shipfuls of kids from planets that had been glassed, because standard UNSC procedure was to evacuate children first. Children are the future. Children are our most precious resource. Blah 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 blah. And when you're fighting against a genocidal alien race, evacuating the children first does make sense.
Yeah.
The way the Spartan 3 recruitment worked was they took entire ships full of kids, and that was what would make up a Spartan 3 class. Like they would say. I
remember that being mentioned in the novels.
Yep.
Yeah, it would be, let's just say hypothetically, Reach had been glassed much later than it was. Oh, these are all the orphans from Reach. Okay, this'll make up class 2.
Yeah. Also, I did do a bit of digging. Persephone does show up in Percy Jackson much later in her proper role as Hades' wife.
Yes.
So we've
but-
already taken the thumb and gouged the shit out of Percy Jackson's lore.
Yeah.
And they decided to do a little bit more digging into Halo.
And so now this person has no idea how the Spartan 3s are recruited, which is annoying because if you know about the Spartan 3, the Spartan 3s are like never mentioned in the main games, so you have to have read the book about Spartan 3s.
Yeah.
Good point.
In other news, something
Unless
just
they got
dropped
mentioned
today.
in 5. Unless they got mentioned in 5. I did not play 5. Full disclosure, I didn't play 5. They could have been mentioned in 5, but they are not mentioned. They didn't exist in Halos 1 through 3. They hadn't been created yet in terms of the universe. They aren't mentioned in 4 other than to say that there are now Spartan 4s and that there was a Spartan 3 program, but that it's super
They were mentioned
classified.
in Reach, obviously.
They were tangentially mentioned in Reach. They were never mentioned as Spartan 3s in Reach. They were only Spartan 3s were only mentioned insofar as Halsey looked at Noble Team and said, "None of you are my Spartans."
Huh.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zach. Congratulations, Chrysanthemum. You're doing more writing than everyone else here combined right now.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I'm just gonna do a quick derail.
Alright.
Something just dropped today that I wasn't aware of.
Alright.
Neo just dropped on Steam today.
Neo?
Mm-hmm. The much quicker paced Dark Souls-like game from.
Yes.
Oh yes,
PS4.
Neo. Yes, with the H. Yes.
Yeah. I'm shocked.
Okay. Camp Curry
Also-
recruits a large man dressed in fatigues. Ambrose, Commander Ambrose. Interesting. When did Kurt get a promotion to Commander, Sneaky?
Never.
This won't be easy. We expect you to listen to us. I'll leave you in Mendez's hand.
I mean, that's totally your opinion, Kugel, but it is a fun game. Jesus, wow.
Ooh, burn.
That, wow.
Burn. Ooh.
Wow, just
The burn. The burn. No, we already did a Mass Effect story.
Also,
Fallout Ruby! That's always a good one!
Whoa, hold on. Let me finish. I'm almost done with chat.
Yeah.
Let me get through this. Mendez about to collapse a gun.
So how you all doing today?
Whoa. What? Mendez, for his part, isn't particularly winded despite being in his late 30s. That's not the part I'm wanting, but Mendez was way older than his fucking 30s. With the Spartan 3s.
Yeah! Holy shit. Mendez was in, like, what, his fucking 50s to 60s at that point?
Yeah. Because the Spartan 3s didn't start until, like, halfway through the Covenant War. And, when Mendez was training the Spartan 2s, he was, like, 35. They were like, all right, he's a super great drill sergeant, but he's like 35. We can't keep him on the front anymore.
Yeah.
They're like, but what can we do with him? We can have them train our little mini murder machines. Come on, just a bit long before he calls after us. I was about to collapse when a gun goes off. The kid beside me screams as a round hits his neck. What? The other kids cry out, erect a lot faster, and hide underneath the Jeep. What? Okay, I'm assuming this is just a kid who's been hit with a pellet round.
Maybe?
Oh, okay, no, okay, it looks like they're in the training armor. And they're getting hit with the paint rounds.
I actually really loved that scene in Contact Harvest.
Oh, yeah, no, it was interesting. The stun rounds, blah, blah, blah. Stomach grumblings. I think he likes us. Who? The chief? No, he's probably just being nice. I could have sworn he was smiling at us. No, that's not how that works.
Woo-wee!
Okay, there's a kid named Thom. Well,
I'm out of vodka.
Here...
Oh, he finally ran out.
Yep. Woo!
So where are you from? Colo. I was evacuated by the Marines. The rest of my family didn't make it. We were born on Acropolis. Blah, blah, blah. They're all orphans. Become Spartans. Blah, 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 blah. Dreamless sleep. Okay. You keep going. I need to go find my book because... Okay, hold on. I'm going to go look at the Spartan 3s because I'm pretty sure they all came from one world. Like the batches, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. Look it up. I'll continue with this. Max can pitch in because he knows Ruby, and he'll be disappointed.
Yay.
From desert to dust. After the courier took over the strip, neutered the Legion at the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, and sent the NCR back home, she was left as the queen, leader, dictator of the Mojave.
Well, this one interesting fact. June did live through Reach, and he helped pick some of the very first Spartan 4s.
Neat. However, when she took a task from the brains in Big Mountain, the last thing she expected was to find herself in a new world, with people creatures. With people creatures and weapons that only reach second place on her list of weird.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's see what are the reviews on this, because the fave and follow count is actually extremely low for a Ruby story. You need to get a beta, lots of tropes, lol the monkeys, radioactive fire. I love this story so much. You need to learn spacing. I doubt Klein would say we don't got all day.
What gigantic Mega Man fic, Google. And Sneaky, where's the fucking story link?
I am dropping it. Calm down. Yes,
okay.
yes, Max is the infamous offer. Woo! Max is the infamous author.
Hang on. Whoa, hang on. Where were you going with that first fuck up? What? I'm sorry. Infamous what?
Infamous author of the Mega Manfic.
Oh yeah, that was my first work. Said I was 15 at the time. I did better than most. I hit a lot of tropes though that do make me cringe now. If I ever rewrite it, I'll leave the original up though. It's nice seeing I'm rather proud of the progress I made going through that story. I went from
Return to the Zones. Yes.
Junior level
400k words.
To college. Oh god, I did write 400,000 words for that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Fucking Christ. And most of that story was on the fly, too.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Honestly, I should have just ended it and not done any sequels. I should have just gone right into a rewrite of it. Because there's a lot of stuff I want to fix in there.
Okay, so, after looking through this, here's what we know about the Spartan 3s.
Oh, poor Chrysanthemum.
Are you okay, Chris?
Why is Chrysanthemum shrinking away in shame?
Because Chrysanthemum writes Strabbles, and Max just got revealed to have written a 400k word fic.
Ah. Yes.
Google, I appreciate constructive criticism because it helps me get better and be less crap.
Holy shit, though. I mean, is Mega Man a small community? Because 11 favorites and 6 follows, but 122 reviews.
Which Zones story is that?
Return to the Zones.
That was the sequel. That one didn't do near as well as the original. It is a
It
somewhat
only has
small
one
community.
less favorite.
Oh, I think I lost favorites then on the zones. Oh well, not really shocked. But it is a rather small community, yes. Especially since I pulled from a little bit of everything. Like Battle Network and Star Force are not looked upon favorably by a majority of the Mega Man community.
Makes sense.
Not as big a fandom for Zero and ZX. And a lot of people just dick ride the shit out of the original Mega Man, which I didn't pull anything from because I was not familiar with it at the time.
Anyway, what I was gonna say. So the report back on the Spartan 3s. So, while I was incorrect about them all coming from one planet, they came. The children were orphaned by the Covenant on attack. This is for the first company, and so I can only assume the process was repeated for the three following companies. The children were orphaned by Covenant attacks on various colonies such as Jericho 7, Harvest, Biko, and Eridanos 2. When they were found, all of them joined to exact revenge on the Covenant. Like, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure all of those kids were listed as dead. They never went into the orphanage system.
Yeah. So it's just confirmation that the author has no fucking idea what they're talking about, but simultaneously does somehow.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's get on with this Ruby Cross.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You want me to go to a lab at the edge of Big Mountain that specializes in teleportation and retrieve some tech. The courier stared the brains of Big Mountain through her trademark, that's one word, authority glasses, half-shaven red hair. She stared through
not
her...
another courier with the authority glasses!
She stared through her hair.
I have yet to encounter a story where the courier wore the authority glasses and it wasn't garbage.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
What's obvious, Sneaky?
Everyone who enjoys writing with authority glasses are trash. Because their characters are edgy. Half-shaven red hair and the old world flag draped across her back, given to her by a friend in the Divide. After
Wait a minute.
Second battle
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Is this them coming back to Big Mountain?
Yes.
Okay. Just needed to clear that up. Also, I don't... This was my interpretation of it, but I don't think you could ever call Ulysses a friend.
You actually can. There's a specific chain of dialogue that if you unlock certain things along the way, you have access to.
No. I'm aware you can get him to not kill you and not fight you. I'm aware of that. But I don't think you could ever call him a friend.
Maybe.
Like, if you ever go back and talk, like, if you haven't completed the game and you go back and talk to him, he will question you about every decision, and he will call you out on every bad thing you do. I don't think Ulysses is ever intended there to be your friend. He's intended to be a foil. Well, okay, well, a foil...
Yes. Blah, 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 power to reshape Vegas, blah, 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 all these improvements, brain by the think tank, were you not listening? Oppenheimer, which one of your geniuses decided to adjust my volume? I'm a robotics engineer, a specialty is sound waves. Excuse that dreadful, you always do this, blah 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 blah. Uninteresting dialogue between uninteresting characters. Blah 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 task, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah, more exposition and quest giving. Blah 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. More uninteresting dialogue with uninteresting characters. Oh, aren't the brains of Big Mountain so silly and funny? Yeah, I guess if you're fucking 10.
Honestly, they just annoyed the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And I killed them as soon as I could.
Exactly. Yes, Atin
Not
is in
because
fact
I
playing
thought they were-
Stellaris.
I am. That's because Stellaris can be easily paused, so that I can read the
That
story.
was the chapter?
Okay, let's just do chapter 2.
Look, I am understanding why so few people favored and followed this. Literally, this chapter was just dialogue of uninteresting characters talking to each other.
And some background.
Alright, so large-ass Cazador. Blah, blah, blah.
Wait, are we going to chapter 2?
Yes, we're in chapter 2.
Okay.
Blah,
you know what?
blah, blah, scorched
I'm making
hallways, plasma, laser fire, blah, blah,
Kaz.
blah, more exposition on Cazadors, blah, 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 she killed it, blah, blah, blah.
We don't need this much exposition
Blah,
on fighting
blah,
a Cazador.
blah,
Yes, they
blah,
suck,
blah,
but they're not
blah,
that bad.
Blah, more stuff about the Cazador.
Why are we still talking about this fucking Cazador?
Blah, blah, blah. Abominations as Cazador. Oh my god, we're still talking about the fucking Cazadors. With a sigh, she examined her riot gear. It was a bloody battle. Blah, blah, blah. She opened up a door. A portal to a vault. I can't tell what's worse. Blah, blah, blah. Machinery seems to be working. Pulling out her 44, she put her hand on the lever and pushed. Red light out of the archway. Archway became blue. Okay, so it was a fucking Stargate. She couldn't turn around. The ceiling collapsed. Alpha Deathclaw coming in through the ceiling. The Alpha Deathclaw was armored in steel armor. Grabbed her and threw her into the portal.
I'm sorry. Why is there an Alpha Deathclaw with steel armor? Is this one of the Enclave modified Deathclaws? Because if not, it shouldn't be wearing armor. Either it's an Enclave mind-controlled one. The Enclave would never ever put them in armor because they saw what happened the last time. Or it was an Enclave modified intelligent one, in which case it should have far more Deathclaws with it. Also, it should be...
Oh my god, what hit me? She said as she flew through the portal. I'm not in Big Mountain anymore. I guess the teleporter works. Getting off her ass, she noticed a duffel bag. Blah blah blah. You've halted the progress of science. As a result, I'm getting rid of you. Blah blah blah. I decided to kill 2 entities, 1 combustion weapon, and you're a test subject of the teleporter. I borrowed from Boris. We'll take care of you, Dr. Klein. Okay, so apparently she got betrayed by Dr. Klein, and he gave her a survival bag because it was in the way of science.
I would just say, I totally buy Klein betraying you. I totally buy that 100%, especially because you're interfering with science. Fine. I don't...
Yeah.
Oh, Aaron, are you talking about that fanfiction podcast that plays the video game they're talking about fanfiction of?
Well, you see, we're better than them, so we don't do that. No, I'm kidding.
I said we should do a crossover with them someday, and they said maybe.
I was gonna say, for us, it's just we...
Oh god,
See,
what
they actually read the story in full, which is the difference to us who actually, like, talk about things while we do it. I mean, this is just like there's nothing really to even talk about here. It's just okay. The characters are uninteresting. The plot is convoluted. Apparently, it was an intelligent Deathclaw that got hijacked by Klein to betray the main character, so she would be thrown into a portal with a survival pack that also happened to send her into the Rubyverse.
Story checks out.
Yeah.
So now we have an intelligent Deathclaw in the Rubyverse.
No, the Deathclaw isn't there.
Oh.
That would have been interesting. No, we can't have that.
I was gonna say, at least it's. I was about to be like, it's not a total. Oh, okay, it is a total.
Blah blah blah. The Beowulf showed up. Blah blah blah. She's talking to the Beowulf. The beast charged at her. She shot them with her gun.
Hold up a minute. Why the hell would the courier try to talk to a Beowulf?
I don't because they're being sarcastic and silly and funny. Don't you know? Chaotic stupid is so amusing. The Discord link can be found in the panels below, bro. And, you know, we've only said that like 22 times now.
I was gonna say, it's literally community hub and a picture of it's a giant version of the Discord logo.
Literally the Discord picture. You would have to be Lord knows hair levels of retarded to not figure that out.
Don't go calling people retarded before they even give us money, Sneaky. Wait, you have to wait for the hard sell after we get their money. After, man, after.
You know me. I'm needlessly complicated.
Needlessly stupid and antagonistic, more like it.
Blah, blah, blah. I was itching for a good fight. You all are pathetic. Blah, blah, blah. So much fight. Fuck this shit, I'm out. She hollered as she sprinted in the opposite direction of the meme. Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna be picking up Stellaris, so I won't be writing too much. Blah, 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 blah. Last but not least, I'm not gonna list out the character perks or special stats. I'm just gonna pick out what perks I think are funny and throw them into the story. This is my first fan fiction ever. I've written way too many essays, so any feedback is appreciated. I'm not gonna give you any feedback because everyone's already said everything for me.
And hopefully the author is taking that feedback to heart.
Improved spacing and general flow of the chapter includes additional sentences and words that, though they don't change anything. Well then, how is it improving? Whatever. Spelling and grammar fixed. Apologize for late the edit was. Laziness that allowed the chapter to come out the way it originally did. Well, at least they seem open to criticism, so hopefully they can grow as a writer.
Yes, hopefully. You mind if I link to the podcast here? Yeah, sure, man. And I grant you the rank roll.
Young writer me must be so disappointed in the current me.
Oh, why is that?
Sneaky, in the span of 4 years, I managed to output about 4 to 5 novels worth of story, on top of a bunch of other little things I wrote. Look at me now.
Yes,
Every
you have
Wednesday
a job.
morning.
What do you say?
That's
You have a job and are gainfully employed.
Atin, I used to be under a heavier workload when I was younger, and I still found the time to have that kind of output for writing.
Hey, you know, man, I'm always open if you want to sit down and try to pound out the rest of our story.
If I could have a guarantee that you'd be able to finish it in 1 3-hour session, sure.
I don't think we can finish another 70k words in a 3-hour session, considering it took us, was it 8 hours to write that one paragraph that one time?
You mean the paragraph for your chapter?
No, I mean the paragraph we got caught in a lore cycle for.
You know what? At least it wasn't the Oswald chapter. All right.
That is true. The Oswald chapter was a.
What happened with the Oswald chapter?
We don't talk about the Oswald chapter.
I'm asking about the Oswald chapter.
No. 70 words, 70k words take about a week for you. Well, then you should start publishing books, mate, because that's about 52 books a year.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
if there's any of that,
first.
well, yeah. But if 70k words is an original story, you really should think about finding a publisher or doing some self-publishing through Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we did in fact put out like 15k words in the span of a night. But, you know.
No, that one took 2 nights.
That's good for you, Google. I'm over here struggling with a 50k for Nano. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Chrysanthemum, neither Max nor I have written anything since August
October.
of last year.
No. You wrote something in October. I managed to get you to write another 10 words for your chapter.
That's true.
I take the victories where I can get them.
But, yeah. I feel like slow as fuck. Well, you are slow as fuck, you Norwegian.
Yeah. I mean,
go eat some
it comes down to access to something to write or type on, and how well the story flows. Like,
yeah.
I've got like 20 ideas in my head that might pop in at any time, and 5 of them I built worlds and rules for.
As you say, I have plenty of ideas, but I'm terrible at writing dialogue, which is why I rely on other people.
Alright, later, Arn.
Anyway, so this is something that Kugel here linked us. Dragon Ball Z Teen Titans. I'm not going to actually be reading this because I don't know anything about Dragon Ball Z. And
I know nothing about DBZ, so...
Or Teen Titans, really. So, I'll be completely oblivious to this. The normal day turns out bad for teenage Gohan after fighting off thugs and monsters as his Super Saiyan form to hide his identity with the help of 5 vigilantes under the name of Teen Titans. An extraordinary...
The Teen Titans were not vigilantes!
Befriend him throughout the school day
Well...
and turn out to be the Teen Titans themselves. Don't whine about power levels.
No, the Teen Titans are... a subsection of the Justice League. The Justice League are not vigilantes.
A. Starfire doesn't go to school.
Vigilantes?
B.
I'm sorry, what?
Raven doesn't go to school. C. Beast Boy is literally green, so how the fuck are you surprised? C. Cyborg, enough said.
As you say,
okay.
the only one who actually ever has to go to school would have been Tim or Dick, depending on which incarnation of the Teen Titans this is.
The animated series.
Yeah, no, it's the animated series. So
regardless of that,
Beast Boy was homeschooled. Starfire was from another planet, so her schooling was different. I don't think they talk much about Raven's childhood because, you know...
they actually did focus a lot on Raven's childhood for the grand finale of the animated series.
No, Sneaky, I'm talking about, like...
In terms of schooling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cyborg was on the path to going down an academic carear. Sorry. He was doing.
I know, but my point is that
a horrible accident happened.
An extraordinary 5 befriended him throughout the school day, who turned out to be the Titans themselves. Like, Cyborg somehow could hide the fact that he was Cyborg. Beast Boy could somehow hide the fact that he's fucking green.
Sneaky, this is a world in which pigs run around yelling panties.
But that's still my point, though. Is I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, they're going to school, whatever. My point is that Gohan is being surprised by the fact that the green boy named whatever the fuck his name is Beast Boy, and that the giant black cyborg man is Cyborg.
Cyborg actually can. Google raised a good point. Cyborg actually can appear normal.
Yes,
Okay.
he's done. He
He
actually
can
has
physically
multiple ways of doing
appear
it.
normal. It doesn't hide that. Like if you touch him, it's still like, oh, that hand is not flesh.
Yeah.
But
That shows up
it's
when he
still a
infiltrates the
large
hive.
black man who sounds exactly like Cyborg and has a similar build to Cyborg. And you go, oh my god, I couldn't believe you're Cyborg. Like, fucking really?
yeah, and again, you know, Starfire was never at school.
I'm pretty sure
we don't know
Raven
anything
didn't,
about,
though.
but
Yeah.
pretty sure Raven didn't.
So yeah, literally the only people who could have was Cyborg and Robin.
Yeah.
And I got news for you. You think Batman let Tim Drake go to school? Because here's the thing. Either he would have sent him to private school, which didn't happen because he was running around Gotham every night. And so then that leaves two options. Go to Gotham's public schools. No. Or do what Bruce's parents did, which is, we'll fly in a bunch of people from around the world, and whatever I don't fly in, Alfred can teach.
Yeah, probably that one. But, yeah, so anyway, we're not covering this fic because we don't know enough about Teen Titans and Dragon Ball Z. Well, I personally don't know enough. But
you wanted to take one quick
you wanted
peek
to get
into
our
yell at
reactions
that.
from it? There's your reactions.
Well, I mean, there's your guys' reactions.
What's
I'd
your
have been willing to
reaction?
read through this, but I'm gonna do this on my own.
Alright. You'll
I
give
actually
us a
have an
summary
understanding.
next time.
Well, I was gonna say, my problem is I know plenty about Teen Titans. I don't know anything.
Well, again, like, we all actually have a different rule set when we're looking at fan fiction. Me, I'm more willing to I'm more willing to suspend disbelief.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying my
So-
problem is I don't know anything about. I mean,
Also, why
obviously
is
I know a little
Gohan
about
going to
DBZ,
school?
But
oh, no, Chi-Chi is obsessed with him, getting good scholarship and having
Okay.
a good life.
Like I said,
Like,
I don't know anything about DBZ.
She hates that Goku keeps trying to train him to be a martial artist.
she's like, no, let him go to school.
See, I don't know
Her
anything
big thing
about
is...
DBZ.
Yeah, well, all you need to know is Chi-Chi is pushing Gohan because she wants him to have a good life by doing well in school. So...
Oh, the aspirations of a millennial generation.
That hit too close. Fuck you.
Stop that. You stop that right now.
Anyway, back to the regularly scheduled trash. Let's see, Bleach High School D times D. We haven't had this yet. Gods of
Wait.
Death.
I don't know. Wasn't there a Bleach
I
High
know
School
I'm a
DxD
millennial.
that just hurt you physically?
Oh, there was plenty of Bleach D times D fics that hurt me physically. Look, I realize I'm a millennial as well, and that's why it hurts too fucking much.
We make jokes to hide the pain. What do you think every meme produced by us is?
Why do you think the millennial generation is the one spearheading the memes? We have to distract ourselves from the pain.
You think we're joking? No, we're all deeply damaged and partially suicidal.
Anyway, Gods of Death! Not even gonna try and pronounce that first name. Yamato released Sosuke Aizan and Kyoka Kawasaki from the Mukin
Stop.
for information on your watch.
Please, the link, Sneaky.
Blink and send a link.
Memes are in fact new age art. You fucking trash.
No, memes are trash. Let's be real.
A D&D fic that only got... Actually, this only has 5 reviews. This is not 9 reviews. This is 5 reviews. Lame uve wuve uve onateke uve ubum oasas wakakakakakak.
Did you just have a fucking stroke?
No, that's what it says!
Sorry, what are you talking about? What?
I'm looking at the reviews. Shit. This is a pile of shit. OC pick. Spelling errors. Can't even form sentences. Please delete this pile of shit. No one cares about shitty OCs. Interesting start, mate. Want more.
Hope to see more
those
soon.
are
Not want
different.
more. Don't put words in people's mouths, Sneaky. I believe that's slander in this case, isn't it? I always get the two fucking mixed up. And is it libel if it's vocal or slander if it's vocal? I can't remember.
I believe it's libel. But actually, I believe it more has to do with the amount of people. Okay. Defamation, common law. To constitute defamation, a claim must generally be false and must have been made to someone other than the person defamed. Some common law jurisdictions also distinguish between spoken defamation, called slander, and defamation in other media, printed words or images, libel. Slander is spoken, libel is written. However, it also, the claim must be false and it must be made to someone other than the defamed, and it needs to be, generally speaking, made with the intent to cause harm. He's not trying to insinuate that the person said, kill all the Jews.
Oh yeah, no, Sneaky, you should look in FS in the fanfiction chat. Just
the answer is keep going.
Cock, 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 cock. Anyway, you were saying?
I was saying we should keep going.
Alright, we're going to keep going. The OC in this story is Kyoya Kurosaki. He is Ichigo's brother and has all the same powers as Ichigo, but all okay, fucking hold on a second. Alright, there we go. All the same powers as Ichigo, but also has the powers of the Hagyoku. Also, I intend to make Aizen a main character. Also, it'll be OC times harem. I'm giving Issei Asia and Irana mostly because I dislike Asia and Irenia. Because she seems to like Issei even before returning to town during the part with Kokakabo.
I like how you stumbled through a bunch of pronunciations for arena, and I'm pretty sure you were right with your first guess. And you ended up adding extra eyes in there for some reason and decided on that one. How do, Sneaky?
Sometimes it's better to just
with
let him go.
Skill
Max.
and alacrity.
Wait,
Ichigo.
what? Alacrity? That spell is not balanced. Get the hell out.
Ichigo point of view. Today was interesting for Ichigo Kurosaki because he forgot to spell his name in capitals again. He got his powers back, but not his old ones, a power called a sacred gear. Then you're not getting your powers back. That's getting a new power.
Yeah.
That would be like if you had a gun. Let's say you had a Glock 18, right? And you lost the Glock 18. But then someone gave you a K88, and you go, I have my gun back. It's like, no, you have a new gun. There is a difference.
Specifically in the amount of broken fingers you'll have if you try to use one like the other.
Then, you see, Ivan, you one-hand gun for fear of hitting self. Then he learned of the existence of biblical creatures. He also found out that God was dead. Wasn't that a big fucking secret? And then heaven was the weakest faction, so he joined them.
What?
They told him that he must go to Vatican, to the main HQ of the churches.
That is so.
Then
so
he learned the
not how
Yamamoto.
Christianity works, but okay.
Then he learned that Yamamoto is going to release his psychotic brother and an evil madman that goes by the name of Sosuke Aizen in just a year. Time skip 1 year later. Oh my fucking god.
What?
What is...
I am sad. I have already drinking all my vodka because boy do I need to drink more right now.
No, drinking is the last thing you need.
Oh,
No, Aizen is not related to them. Yamamoto is walking through a long corridor. He looks to his left into a certain jail cell. There are black wraps completely covering his face. Holy shit! This is Sonic the Hedgehog. Please do not steal. Holy shit! Black wraps completely covering his face. He is hunched over and then he sits up, then looks in Yamamoto's direction. It's time, isn't it? Yabba dabba fucking kill me.
That's not how that goes.
No, I'm like almost guaranteed that's how that goes. Scooby-Doo times D times D, alright. I'll keep that up. You want it, we got it. I don't know how to use capitals. Indeed, Kyoga Kurosaki, you and Sosuke Aizen don't know how to comma. I will only take half the binds off your right eye, your arms and legs and mouth, and you must keep the rest on to suppress your power so you don't accidentally kill a human? What? Is he fucking an Uchiha too?
Yes, you've discovered their secret.
I get it. Anything else? You and Sosuke Aizen are banned from entering Soul Society. You must live in human world. Didn't want to stay here. He is waiting for us. Sealed, if you ever meet an enemy you can't handle, the power sealed, you can use this earpiece to take off your seals. There will be a button that will appear on your arm to remove the seals. Let's go then. He unbinds Kiyoya and blah 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 Aizen. Hey Yamamoto, when the Quincy invade, are we banned yet lol? When they invade, you will come to society to aid us. It sounds like we don't have choice. If you don't listen, you lock away again with triple old sentence. Yeah, I don't want to be arrested, so let's go with the rules. I do not know, find it out.
This is making my head hurt.
Yamato said, and Kyoko looked at Aizen and said, well, I guess we play father. I'll give you a hint, his name starts with an S. Very well, if we must go undercover, then I am correct, you already have plan. I do. Hueco Mundo, blah blah blah. No other factions, blah blah blah, Yamato thought. Hueco Mundo. Isn't that tier harriable? I think I actually pronounced that right.
What do you think you pronounced right?
Tier's name?
Tier Haribo?
That was close.
Yeah,
Why
I mean,
does it
you
feel
didn't
like she
stumble,
believes
so-
or hates us? She's probably mad about me stabbing her. Of course you stabbed her. You never asked. Why didn't you tell me? Oh yeah, I totally stabbed her. What?
What?
What
None
next
of this
hell?
makes any sense.
He stabbed me in the front, actually. Blah blah blah. You're making this worse. Blah blah blah. Kingdom. Name you. I name you Tyr, the Queen of Hollows. Please do forgive Sosuke. Oh well, okay then.
I'll just forgive him.
I
What?
found Ukiora's mask fragment. What are you gonna do with it? Things.
I just realized these chapters are roughly 10,000 words apiece.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh boy. Yeah, let's just call that done. Let's just all pretend we read the 10,000 words. And, yeah, let's move on. That sounds good, right?
Read them all and suffer.
No.
I'm kidding. Just keep going, please.
Let's see, moving on. High school D times D crossovers. What was it, Scooby-Doo you wanted?
Well, that or we could look at the gifts he gave us in the chat.
No, let's just keep going.
Keep
How
going with
about
what,
that?
Atin?
No Scooby-Doo. But we do have SCP. Interesting.
Wait. SCP and high school D times D?
Yeah.
I could see some potential in that.
No, I wasn't saying yes or no to it. I was just like, I need to be sure that I am interpreting this
Wait.
statement correctly.
No, oh, don't do this to me. Okay, 2 of them are in Spanish. The only 2 in English.
2 of them are in Spanish,
rated
and apparently the most updated story currently is Trash with an OC.
Powerful OC contains some Issei bashing. I'm not gonna lie, Issei is one of those few characters where it's like, oh, they're bashing a character.
Sonic the
I can't bring
Hedgehog,
myself to
High
care.
School D times D.
Oh, you're looking at the gifts now, are you? Or did you just happen to stumble on that? Oh, yeah, you didn't see, did you? Kugel left us 2 more fics.
No, you're saying
reason.
gifts, Max, not gifts. You're forgetting the pronunciation of the T at the end.
I
No,
too
I'm
thought you
saying
said gifts.
Gifts, but, I mean, whatever.
Anyway, blah, 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 Sonic Rainbow Generations. I'll probably make Easter eggs. That's not a summary! There is no summary in there. There is no summary contained inside the summary.
I also think the title art is a rather poorly compressed Photoshop.
Yes, it is. Fairy Tale crossover with Sonic in High School D times D.
What?
Demon Princess and her hedgehog. When Rias finds Issei cheating on her, she will be broken until she meets a nice hedgehog of her dreams.
No, Max, help me veto this.
Don't worry, I'm not reading this. Contains med, Lagrange, and humor. And sorry, humor.
No, that says humor. Apparently, this author was a big fan of the romantic subplot of Sonic 06.
No.
Oh boy.
Wait, why the fuck is Raineria alive? I came back to life to get my revenge on you. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna move on to an actual story. Let's break up this garbage with some extra garbage.
Let's unclog our arteries by clogging them worse.
Indeed. This is a just fucking dumb story I have. It's a inheritance story, obviously.
Why?
Because I enjoy the suffering of others.
Ugh, we know.
Anyway. Inheritance divide. Arlen and Lind of Cathalorn have parted ways, each going where they feel they belong, but all is not well in Cathalorn or the unknown lands. They are destined to fight their separate battles, but without each other, will they succeed? In case you're curious, no, it does not appear to be a sequel. Maybe. Oh, yes, it is. It is a sequel. It's a sequel that doesn't tell anyone that it's a sequel, which would explain why it has two favorites. He gave my Ruby crossover a garbage review. He was right, but fuck him. Okay, so we got Inheritance Serta, Inheritance Return, Ruby Haven, blah blah blah, Ruby, Five Nights at Freddy's 3, Nightmares. Team Ruby, Springtrap.
Hell no.
Oh, is this another Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer? But only this time shit stories that don't make it past 10k words? Shit, fucking a majority of these don't even make it past 5k. Hell, a majority of these don't actually fucking make it past 2k.
Seems to have a lot of little troubles.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, people can drabble. Drabble's technically 100 words, but don't get me wrong, people can one-shot, people can short story it. I'm not against that. Check if he has Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer in his favorites. This is true enough.
Well, don't do that. Don't do that. You'll only hate yourself.
No, he has no favorites.
He only has his own stories.
Yes. Right. Among the Ruby OC fanfictions I have done was a crossover between Ruby and Springtrap, one of my most popular stories, only complete adventure in the realm of horror. Alright. Okay, so it starts with Inheritance Serta. No, it doesn't. Why do you do this to me? Updated category. That's fucking. You're still fucking beating shit. All right, good job. Okay, I think it starts with return, and then it goes to Serta. And then divide and then reckoning. I just...
This seems like something where his story disappeared for some reason and then were magically re-uploaded.
What?
Look at the publish and update dates on them. This looks like the kind of thing where the stories disappeared from the site or removed them from another website over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does.
Wait. Oh, we finally fucking have something. Here we go. Right here. He finally tells us the order the entire series is in the final fucking story. Jesus Christ. Like I said, this isn't just fucking dumb for a reason. Alright, so we'll start with the first one. Okay, so we're gonna start off this story with a OC. Talking about elven ships. He's going to attack the ship for a dragon egg that is apparently known to be on the ship.
Yeah, I'm just to steal a dragon egg. That's not gonna go poorly.
Apparently multiple dragon riders are on the ship. It was Kurga, a Nerlin rider. Most recent addition. Don't know what a Nerlin is. This is not a good start. If you're trying to hook people into a story that is a fan fiction of a story, the best way to do that is to not put two different OCs and a new race in there. Just just throwing that out there, you know. If you you want people to read your My Little Pony story, inventing a new species of seven-legged boars to be your main character, maybe, I don't know, maybe not your best bet. Maybe inventing a new species and only having OCs in the first 3 paragraphs. Maybe not best choice.
Yeah, clearly it was the greatest choice. Come on now.
The dragon wasn't very strong. This was super easy. I don't know about knurls. I have no idea what a knurl is. Like I said, I don't know why they. Like I said, I don't know.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to go to the bathroom.
Blah blah blah. He charged at the elf. Apparently,
Have I
no.
missed anything?
Apparently, Kurga was an elf.
Have I missed anything?
Okay.
No, not really. Just
So
Sneaky
it's
trying
a
to make heads or
dwar-
tails of this mess.
So it's a dwarven shade.
You tell me, mate.
Well, no, because Krugel makes sense. It said that dwarves call each other Nurla, but everyone else calls them dwarves. And
Okay.
the shade is calling the person he's looking at a Nurlin, which
So
means
wait,
the shade is a dwarf.
I was gonna say, are they dwarf or not dwarf?
But then it says he charges at the elf, which wasn't previously mentioned. Yeah, there's no mention of elves being on the deck.
But I mean, I guess there would be since it's an elven ship.
I mean, fucking hell, for all
Supposedly.
we know, it was piloted by magic.
Darn elf bullshit.
Elf charges at him, he kills that elf too, he punches another elf in the face, he kills another elf, he kills another elf, he kills another
Okay,
elf.
why are none of these elves trying magic?
And
They're
why
elves.
does he hate elves?
He's killing more elves. He got stabbed a couple times, but that doesn't matter to him. More elves charged at him, he kills more elves. He continues to kill more elves. Then came the rider. Blah blah blah. The Nurla ran at him. Orange-scaled dragon. Swung his sword at him. Wasn't fast or as strong. Defended himself better than they did. Blah blah blah. Shoulders, front claws. Blah, blah, blah. Stabbing the dragon. Blade went straight into the dragon's chest. The dragon dropped him. Cast a spell to slow his descent. Blah, blah, blah. You'll pay for that, Shade. My name is Rod. Tell the gods I sent you. And blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna kill you. Blah, blah, blah. You love the monologue. Blah, blah, blah. How did you know? He went down into the hold, killing more elves. Blah, blah, blah.
Boy, a lot of murdered elves who are putting up absolutely no resistance.
One shot in the mouth would kill it. As soon as the dragon started to exhale fire, he shot an arrow into the roof of the mouth, instantly killing the dragon.
So now we have a dead dragon.
As the dragon died, Rod ate its soul. Blah, 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 blah. He opened up the chest, and he stole the dragon egg.
Hold on. I'm sorry. When did this become Skyrim? Because I didn't think this was a Skyrim crossover, but apparently we eatin' dragons now.
We be dragons, yo. We be dragons. Alright, that was absolutely god-awful, and we all know now why that was on the absolute shit list. Alright, here's a Lord of the Rings story.
Oh no.
You want to start us off, Atin, while I visit the
Later,
bathroom?
Kugel.
That is not what I wanted to post.
That's the same story, I assume.
There you go.
Is it an error? Strange things long unseen. Witch King OC. English. Supernatural romance. Nen Fielding is a sheriff's deputy in the town of Bree, circa 3014, and she can see the dead. This ability has before been only a novelty of sorts, the type of thing that she keeps quiet about and ordinary folk prefer not to notice. But after an ill-fated journey south, she finds herself in the depths of Minas Morgul at the mercy of its terrifying king. How the hell are you going from Bree to Minas Morgul? That's a
luck
really,
and skill.
really long trip, yo. Like, that's a really long trip.
Luck and skill, Atin. Luck and skill.
Excerpt of the Sheriff's Journal concerning Under Sheriff Nen Fielding. Fielding is, without a doubt, a fine and accomplished deputy. However, despite my greatest reservations concerning the matter, I have revoked the aforementioned individual's standing as Under Sheriff of Bree. This decision follows a grave incident on the Greenway, and although I was not personally present, reports of travelers are numerous. I have personally and reluctantly conducted an in-depth investigation and discovered these reports to be trustworthy. What follows is a compilation of these reports in narrative as best as I am able to manage at the time being. I hope to any concerned parties in the future that it is enough to convince any in doubt of my decision. January 10th, 3014. Weather was unseasonably warm, rainy, and blustery. Strange reports from the south, and travelers in increased numbers on the road. Can you do me a favor, Max? Can you look up when the Kingdom of Numenor fell? Because I know it was during the Second Age. I'm just curious as to how recent the fall is.
Kingdom of Numenor. The
Past
one
the
wicked
sheriff's
rule.
lunch at noon, note, a frugal and quickly eaten fare, reports arrived from the... Is that supposed to be 20th? I think they're trying to say 20th, but they just have XX. So I can't tell if they forgot to fix that, or if they're trying to do Roman numerals for the mile marker.
Probably Roman numerals.
Except it's not capitalized, though. That's the problem.
In the year SA 3255, the 25th king sailed to Middle-earth. The Numenorians came in such force that Sauron himself surrendered to their might.
Okay. Anyway.
Called Atalante.
A party of travelers had been robbed, and a highwayman left straight away for our humble office, imploring aid. Wait, what? So a bunch of people got robbed, and one of the robbers left for their office to get them help?
I guess? Could know.
Is there a different definition of highwayman in Lord of the Rings?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think there is. Anyway. Under Sheriff Fielding, being experienced in dealings with unsavory characters in the surrounding free lands, promptly volunteered her aid. She was provided with one of the swiftest company horses, a mare by the name of Maybury. At an unspecified hour before sundown, Fielding arrived at the party to find that a member had been abducted, along with all valuable items. Without inquiring with the sheriff's office further, Fielding immediately set off to trail the brigands. Here the reports take an unsettling turn. The abducted traveler was a young man by the name of Winrow. Partway through his abduction, the brigands determined that they no longer wished to risk leaving a noticeable trail, and Winrow quickly vanished. Nearly 2 days later, of course, Fielding returned, altogether not much worse for the wear, considering that at some point during that time she had located the brigands, their camp, and the stolen goods. For a while at least, I merely attributed this success to Fielding's excellent field skills. Had it not been for the later capture of one of the brigands, whose name will remain out of these records for the time being, I would not be aware of the means by which my undersheriff located them. This particular witness was following the party of brigands, being an experienced trail extinguisher. When he heard Fielding approach on her horse, he promptly dodged into some underbrush, where he watched the following proceedings with dismay. Fielding, upon finding the discarded body of Winrow, dismounted her horse and knelt beside him. At this point she began speaking to the dead man, inquiring as to the events that left him there, and how she might find his killers. The conversation was quite casual, according to the brigand, as though she were meeting an acquaintance for afternoon tea. After spending a bit more time in her seemingly one-sided conversation, the undersheriff left on her horse with a parting promise to return and properly bury the man once her business was finished. As if this information were not peculiar enough on its own, the brigand also recalled discussing the location of their secret camp in front of the soon-to-be dead man. Fielding immediately set off in the proper direction of this camp and came upon it without any coincidence. All that is left to be concluded, then, is that my agent had a proper conversation with the dead man and likely had similar conversations before. The risk of being removed from my position as High Sheriff for the exploitation of unnatural things, I have removed Fielding from her position. I hope that my decision is respected and understood, although I will not speak directly of these happenings unless I am called under official questioning. In the meantime, I have appointed a new undersheriff. Okay, so, couple of problems with this. First, it starts with reports of travelers are numerous. He has one witness, a criminal.
Yep.
There may be other witnesses, but the evidence we have is one witness, a criminal, who says, yeah, totally started talking to the body, then found our totally secret camp. Except, and here's the problem, the, quote, trail extinguisher jumped in the bushes, which means they didn't finish their job. Which means there would be tracks leading to their special camp. So
Yep.
Why would you believe the bandit that your incredibly trusted, wonderful sheriff talked to the dead? And in addition to that, now I could be wrong because it's been quite some time since I read the books, and I have not read all of the lore books. I've only read the main books, meaning the Hobbit, the actual Lord of the Rings books themselves, and I did read the Silmarillion. Pretty sure there's no such thing as a law on the exploitation of unnatural things.
Yeah, you'd figure that'd be something they would mention.
I'm pretty sure that doesn't exist. Because if that rule did exist, boy, Gandalf would never have been able to enter the town of Bree. Given that he is a wizard, and therefore practically the definition of exploitation of unnatural things. No? Comments? Anybody? Come on, guys. It's not a one-man show.
No. I mean, I really don't have anything else to say. I mean, yeah, you're the bigger Lord of the Rings buff here, and pretty much everything you've said, I'm just
that's a terrifying thing in and of itself. Oh boy, 'cause I don't know a ton. I don't know a ton. Anyway, you want to take over?
Sure.
Because, let's be honest, people like your reading voice a lot better than mine.
I guess so.
We've only lost viewers while I've been reading. Of course, to be fair, they could have left beforehand because they hated what we were doing.
The rain beat heavily on the murky window pane of her small second-floor room, which is located above an equally small and second-rate tavern called the Ghostly Sailor. Considering that there was no place to sail for miles, a tavern of this name was not quite appropriate. In Bree?
They're by a river. A big trade river. Hold on. Oh, good. People have made an interactive map. This is why I like the internet. This is why I like the internet, yo. Okay, never mind. No, yes, that is correct. Bree is absolutely nowhere near any kind of water feature, assuming this map is accurate. Never mind. I'm a crazy one.
It was more likely the ale that kept the customers away, as it tended to be sour as the tavern's owners were oft to be. Only its upstairs inhabitant found the name to be fitting in an ironic sort of way. The woman in question was sitting on her stiff bed, turning a small copper badge over and over in her fingers. Engraved in neat letters was her name, Nen Fielding. She was not allowed to wear the badge anymore, nor was she allowed to have it. But the sheriff, being rather soft-hearted and reluctant fellow that he was, let it pass just this once. She turned her gaze to the other piece of furniture in the room. A rickety chair, which was suddenly inhabited by a grim and grey old rascal with a trademark sea captain's hat that was as raggedy and tattered as his namesake's tavern. He spoke with a wispy voice that did not match his terrifying appearance in the least. "You're really gonna quit, ain't ya?"
Is it really quitting if you're fired?
"You can't fire me, I'll quit!"
Alright, whatever you say there, Captain Orc.
Betrayal.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them used that line. I really wouldn't. That'd be really funny.
Yeah.
It would be quite humorous.
Well, I'm glad. His town His town was outwardly scoffish. What?
What?
But held an almost fatherly tone that she only recognized after years of dealing with him. Well, I really don't have much of a choice this time, she said, continuing to fidget with the old badge. Why, if I weren't so filled with my scruples...
This person is trying way too hard to write like Lord of the Rings and missing the mark by a mile.
Filled with my scruples, I'd tell you to stage a mutiny. The sea captain raised himself from the chair, raising one fist in the air as though to rally her.
The good old-fashioned sea captain that can't possibly relate to normal life.
In an attempt to keep from laughing, Fielding shook her head and tucked the badge in her pants pocket. Stage a mutiny against the entire... Wait, why is she wearing pants? Like, that's actually a legitimate question in Lord of the Rings.
What do you mean?
Like, besides the elves, don't like a majority of the peasant women wear skirts?
As far as I know, yes. But she is also, or previously was, a sheriff.
That's fair enough. Stage a mutiny against the entire sheriff's office of Bree. You tell me when you come up with a way to do that. Blah, blah, blah. Sheriffs, blah, blah, blah. Scruples, blah, blah, blah. Most likely to mope in the bar. Captain had been lonely. Dark deeds still haunting him. Status as a pirate.
This is a little deep for the character's introduction, don't you think?
Yeah, just a bit. Was a bar fight. Should have seen the other man. I was 102. Really? A 102-year-old pirate.
I'm sorry.
In the second era.
No. This is the third era. It's 3014.
Belt pouches are extremely useful. Yes, I will 100% agree with that, considering I use belt pouches for the character that I write that has a skirt. Right on, old man.
So, A, I'm pretty sure it's the third age.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
Maybe.
But regardless of whether it's the first, of whether it's the second or the
medical
third
advances aren't exactly 102-year-old worthy.
No, I want to point out, Aragorn was considered old as shit, and he was 80. He was considered old as hell, and he was 80. Because first, it's like, oh, how old do you? It's like, how old are you? And there's that whole back and forth. And she's like, oh, you can't be 60, can't? He's like, I'm 80. She's like, there's no way you're 80, unless, are you Númenórean? And bear in mind at this point, quote, the blood of Númenor was weak, so...
Yeah. Which, I mean, look, pirates really didn't live past 40. Pirating was a very short-lived profession, sort of like ninjaing and soldiering. If you lived to an elderly age, you were either by far the most legendary pirate ninja soldier to exist, and everyone in the local area knew about you. Because holy fucking shit, in a highly deadly profession, you lived to fucking, 90 or whatever. Kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So how this 102-year-old sea captain that no one's ever heard of
Magic, Harry. Magic.
You're a faggot, Harry.
No. Sneaky. Come on, man. Can't be saying that.
Oh, come
We're
on. You know
live,
he
you
won't.
idiot.
You know he loved Draco.
We're live, you idiot.
I'll be back in a few minutes while you two continue on with the Lord of the Rings talk.
Indeed. Okay, so yeah, blah 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 blah, ghosts, blah blah blah, more ghosts, they were unruly, blah blah blah, shivered, blah blah blah, race were a different matter altogether, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, wraiths, stricken with paralysis, avoided the burrows. Blah blah blah, self-pity, moping, walking cloak, she left the room. Not put much thought into it. The town was quiet. Danger coming this way. Orcs and armies. Asking for your aid. We ride at sunrise. I can't spare anything. Oh! Yes! The soldiers who are asking for aid are going to take a woman to fight orcs. Yeah. Sure. Well then. Glad we're moving on from this one. Alright,
And
so...
Fielding rode out with the Rangers of the North. Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Sage effect. In all caps, too.
Oh boy.
Alright, as always, I'll be placing the link to the fanfiction if you feel like reading along in the Discord found in the panels down
This is
below.
gonna make me angry again, isn't it?
Oh, probably. It's gonna get you
Oh,
pumped.
good,
It's gonna
it's
get your
Naruto.
blood flowing. You're gonna
Oh,
flex!
God. Naruto and Mass Effect.
Sage effect. Naruto Mass Effect crossover. Dying at the tender age of 19 sucked. Being reborn in a doomed future with a pair of Rinnegan eyes and apocalypse bearing down on me sucked even more. Being born on Mindor,
Mindor, I think.
certainly didn't help matters. OC times Femshep. So, I'm actually gonna need to make a graphic at some point so I can put it up and say warning, opinion coming.
Boy, we need that opinion.
Because here, this isn't a personal opinion of mine. This is completely subjective to me. Crossovers are fine, but the problem there is people are going there for the characters. More specifically, I see a lot of people go to crossover sections for the reactions of one set of characters or the other. You follow? Right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole stream is warning opinion coming. Hey, maybe if we get people angry at us, we'll change the podcast to that. Warning opinion coming.
We could do that. Although then people might think we're just a generic talk show.
This is true enough. Maybe we'll save that for when we're doing opinions on different stuff that isn't fanfiction.
We have those?
Not yet. We gotta fill something to fill that third time slot.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, moving on, yes. So, people, from what I've seen, from both reviews and the people I've talked with who enjoy fanfiction, who have talked about this with me, more often than not, go to fanfiction crossovers for the reactions of characters. Like, oh, I want to see blank's face when blank happens because, you know, say, it's a good one, Shiro in High School D times D, and Shiro pulls out Excalibur and everyone flips their fucking shit because that sword shouldn't exist. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. That's what I see a lot of people go like, oh, I want to see Harry Potter with this power, I want to see Naruto with this power, and I want to see how everyone reacts to that. That's the sort of stuff that I see a lot of people go to crossovers for.
Mm-hmm.
The problem here is, for me, again, opinions, this is probably, in all likelihood, a self-insert. Original character who apparently lived in the Naruto-verse, died there, magically was reincarnated into the Mass Effect verse with the Rinnegan eyes, who then meets Shepard and does the vertical tango with her.
What the fuck did I just walk back into?
As always, Max, your timing is impeccable. But you're following along, right? Yeah?
I am.
Yeah.
Welcome to the pain of existence.
Generation 19, Roadborn, pair of Rinnegan eyes, OCX Femship.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. The problem wasn't that the car had hit me. Okay, so wait, he died in the real world, got reborn into Mass Effect with Naruto Dojutsu.
This is making me upset.
Okay, look.
This first paragraph is actually making me angry.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, like I could have withstood a little bit more. I would have been a little bit more lenient if it was like, okay, it was a Naruto OC. You know, they die. They're related to the Uzumaki or whatever. Sure, fine, fuck it, whatever. They get reborn, and they're in the Mass Effect verse with the Rinnegan eyes. Fine, fuck it. But this is completely normal human character from our Earth, dying in our world, ending up in Mass Effect with a fictional power from a different series that doesn't exist in either of them.
Yes.
So,
I see no issues here.
Yeah. Indeed. Did I scare away someone? I think I scared away someone.
I don't know, did you?
Yes, I did. I scared away Old Man Smithers.
Good job.
Be gone, foul demon. I exorcise you. The problem wasn't that the car had hit me. No, that kind of thing was survivable with a few broken bones as a granted mercy.
That is entirely dependent on how fast that car is going, buddy.
And the angle, but... The problem was that I was dead!
What happened to it being survivable?
No getting around it, no messing around. I was dead, if not deader than a doornail. I floated above my dead, rather mangled body. Anthony Sullivan! I didn't hear the voice so much as I felt it. Most certainly a voice that spoke in all capitals. I turned slowly and wasn't surprised.
This is one of these fucking stories.
Wasn't much surprised by what I saw. You'd be death then. Indeed. The correct emotion should have been fear or sadness. But I was...
But of course, I'm special and didn't feel any of that.
Yes, actually. So I nodded my head. Death's face adopted confusion. You're not gonna cry or struggle? I shook my head no. You're not gonna challenge me? Nope, I'm gonna lose. Where am I going to go? Where are you supposed to go? Oh, okay then, until we meet again. Boy, you're sure breaking those tropes.
Yeah, you smash those tropes. Oh, Arthur, you smash them good.
Afterlife, blah, 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 I'm being born. Oh my god, I'm being born.
I somehow have perfect knowledge of this.
Yep, fully aware of being born. The mother dies. Wow, tragic backstory. And we're done with the chapter. Wow, we can move the fuck on and never turn back.
You sure? You sure you don't want to turn back?
Yeah.
Maybe
No.
take a few looks in the rearview mirror?
Nah. Fallout Familiar Zero, let's go.
Oh god, no. Didn't we do this already?
No.
And it was terrible?
No, we read the cannibal one.
That's what I meant. I'm saying we did a Fallout Familiar of Zero, and it was awful.
This is a different
A.
one.
Yeah, come on, Atin.
I'm so sorry for not having any faith in humanity.
It's also terrible. A new beginning. Luis of the Zero. Yep, that's what it says. Who is not able to use magic correctly, leaves everyone astounded as she summons a human in heavy armor. Will the summoned, forcefully dragged out of his dying world, be able to shed his blood for a world that repeats the same mistakes as his old one?
Well, A, he doesn't have much of a choice in that matter. Doesn't really have much of a choice. B, I'm really curious how a bunch of magic nutjobs who don't have nukes can repeat the mistakes of the old world.
Yeah, it's rather difficult. Sneaky, I got a quick question for you.
Huh?
In all of the Familiar Zero crossovers you read,
Yep.
has anyone had Louise fuck up the spell so horribly wrong she manages to transport herself and her entire class to the world of her familiar?
So glad you asked. Yes, twice.
And only twice.
I've seen, from what I've seen.
Were either of them at least adequate?
Oh, yes. There's one I'm currently reading called The Fall. It's, Luis is in Fallout New Vegas. I've never seen her class get transported. I've seen herself get transported. I think the other one was a Warhammer fic.
Oh, God.
But I think that one's dead, so... The Fall is still updating. I actually recommend The Fall. It's actually fairly good.
Okay, you said this is another Fallout.
Fallout New Vegas, yeah, Luis.
Oh, it just updated 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It's right at the top of the list.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to keep you tabbed.
Blah, blah, blah. I don't own anything. Blah, blah, blah. This is my awesome entrance. This is my first fanfic ever. That English is not my native tongue. Well, then you better get a fucking beta, boy. When you talk about Fallout, you think of Soul Survivor and other protagonists. While I'll be using that content, the protagonist of this story is not connected to any of those games. It's a character I thought up of myself, which means I wasn't sure if it should be a Fallout cross. Another note I released from this endless torture of mine. First chapter will probably make you puke. Yeah, tell me everything you dislike. Alright, so they are inviting criticism. I can full on agree to that. Let's criticize the shit out of them.
Yeah. Also, I mean, as long as the character shows up in, I don't know, power armor, make them an ex-Brotherhood or something.
Well, I mean, like, if it's gonna be a Fallout cross, and you're gonna use, if you're gonna use Fallout weapons and shit and Fallout history, then it's a Fallout cross.
Yeah, I know, but generally people will take one of the main characters and then mold them into an original character to suit what they need.
Yes, I'm well aware.
Yeah. This guy doesn't plan on doing that. So.
Anyway. War never changes. Humanity, since it's very blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah, everyone's heard this speech. No one knows. Okay, here we go. This isn't a Fallout crossover. It's not a Fallout cross.
What is this?
Ages of years ago, man battled predators to ensure survival. Millions of years later, that is factually incorrect. Mankind has not lasted for more than 100,000 years. Fucking holy shit! Millions of years later, Jesus fucking Christ. In the year 2020, on the Georgian calendar, mankind threw itself into doom. No one knows what happened, but they were zombies. Blah blah blah, death started to eat everyone, blah blah blah, zombies, the undead rose, governments fell, no cures.
No, this is not Fallout.
No, it's not Fallout at all.
I was gonna say,
This
isn't Fallout. None of this is Fallout.
None of this is Fallout. Humanity had two choices: do nothing and die, or use the most powerful weapon they ever had. So they nuked the zombies. Okay. I'm gonna clear up a little misconception that people apparently have about nuclear weapons.
This isn't Fallout. This isn't Fallout. Jesus. Carry on.
Okay, so little misconception about nuclear weapons, especially in the modern era and in this current decade. I actually did a research paper on this. Modern nukes are extremely clean comparatively to Fat Man and Little Boy. That's the difference that Fallout is. The reason why Wasteland and Fallout are the way they are is because they were extrapolating nuclear weapons based off of the idea that all nuclear weapons will be as dirty or dirtier than Fat Man and Little Boy. They didn't have much to work on back then.
Because most of it was ultra classified.
So anyway, if modern nuclear weapons were launched, there would be fallout, but it would be in an extremely limited area, to the point in which you would have to literally launch probably over 1,000 to get a single area irradiated to the point where it will be unsafe to inhabit for decades. In one area. Thousands. This is modern weapons, keep in mind. Again. Another thing to keep in mind is that modern nuclear weapons, due to how their process makes them cleaner, also have a smaller yield in terms of size. Tactical nuclear missiles are the MO of the modern day. Because all the governments realized annihilating the world population was fucking retarded. So they're like, hey,
Frank, what if we killed everyone?
What if we made nukes
stupid
that only blew up the cities we hit? So anyway, you're wrong on the fallout part. That's the fallout with the lowercase f part. Unless you were using old bombs, or you were using dirty bombs, or you're using salt bombs, which are a thing, by the way. Salt bombs are a theoretical, hopefully undeveloped branch of technology in which instead of a nuclear yield, it is a pure fallout-based yield. The deadliest theorized one is called a cobalt bomb, in which the area basically becomes hell on Earth in terms of radiation. And now you know. So, with that being said, back to the story. Also, final note. Why the fuck are you nuking zombies?
Like,
Napalming zombies? Sure. Nuking? Really?
a nuke is going to be very ineffective against things that are already dead. Like, sure,
Well,
there's an explosion. It's bad.
well, the pressure wave would actually... See, I'm trying to remember how effective the pressure wave is out, but it would be enough to get rid of them and up to, what, 3 miles? They get flash fried?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, you could...
No, here's the thing. It is effective. Unfortunately, it would need to be a carpet bomb to cover every possible square inch they need to.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be much more effective to devote time to making conventional munitions, which would kill them as effectively and not screw the world over.
Napalm.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can agree with that. On the other hand, those fuckers are completely vaporized, and we don't have to worry about burning zombies now coming back.
Napalm.
Yeah, but like we can get temperatures hot enough that it would melt their bone. Like
No, napalm.
No one cares about your napalm, Sneaky.
A burning
Go back to your corner.
A burning zombie is a thing. I'm not gonna say that it's not a thing, but that's when but that mostly happens when you're using an improvised incendiary device, like a Molotov cocktail, because alcohol does not burn very hot. Now, to a normal human being that's lit on fire, whether or not it's burning hot doesn't really matter. You're still burning, and that really sucks. But a zombie doesn't care about that. The zombie will, as you have pointed out, just keep on moving. However, things like napalm kill people very, very, very fast because it burns very hot. And so it would burn all the flesh off the zombie, and then it would burn the bones to ash. And
I don't know about the bones, depending on the napalm type, but yeah.
Okay, even if it didn't burn them to ash, it would severely weaken them and they would start collapsing.
Huh, there we go.
But anyway,
And, most importantly, the zombie, it would do things like burn all their ligaments very quickly, so they can't move. The point being that napalming zombies is
far superior.
A perfectly fine idea. Just don't firebomb them. Just don't use alcohol-based firebombs, and it's a perfectly good solution.
Indeed.
Napalm is 15 to 2200 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, not enough for bones, I don't think.
No, actually, Atin, I don't think napalm would work either. It also depends on the kind of zombies. Keeping in mind, most zombie things are theoretical or superstitious in origin.
Yeah, fair enough, but they did say it was a virus that brought the dead back to life, so I'm gonna go with the Romero zombie.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was operating under the assumption of the Romero zombie.
In which case, I still don't think that would be near as effective as we'd hope.
It'd be more effective than fucking salting the earth.
Yeah.
No, nothing is any more. Here's the thing, Sneaky. Salting the earth is the most effective thing you can do to destroy something. You just gotta put up with the fact that you kinda just dicked yourself over.
Okay, yes. Theoretically speaking, it is the most effective thing, but it's also the stupidest thing.
Oh yeah, it still doesn't make it the not most effective thing.
Blah blah blah, he was a hero of justice, blah blah blah, never-ending madness. Sun rose, blah blah blah, Luis, blah blah blah, you should blah blah blah, blah blah blah, uninteresting fucking interactions. I summon you, my servant from the universe, come forth. Would she even know what the fuck a universe is? Is that ever a thing is that completely fanon, Max, or what?
I think it was translated that way. If you don't mind giving me a few minutes to double check.
Go right ahead.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, blah blah blah, my beautiful divine familiar, golem, oh, it was a golem, oh, it was not a golem. It was a human. Barren land, and now it's not a barren land, and there's a little girl in front of me, poor child, and then she kissed him. Yeah.
How? They're wearing power armor. How?
Alright, so, yeah, but he took off his helmet, remember?
Oh, yes. Because that's the first thing you're gonna do.
Yeah.
As a wastelander,
Yep.
being dropped into a brand new environment. Just take off that protective, life-saving headgear.
Yep, indeed. Anyway, so we're going to cut it short here because it appears everyone's leaving and it's kind of getting late and we're kind of running down on the story section. So, with that being said, thank you everyone who is watching this on the archive for coming this far, and if you're still here and listening, thank you for coming as well and live. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more or just want to talk to us afterwards, you can find the Discord link in the panels down below, and you can also find the YouTube archive link in the panels down below. Check us out, watch our videos, put a like on them, put a comment on them, work that Google algorithm in our favor. Anyway, hope you all have a good night. This is Sneaky Devil signing off along with Max Force and Atin. And remember,
good night, and don't come back.
Later.
There's
for your own
always
health.
more, and it always gets worse.